Here we are.
And here you are. Welcome back. This is part 3 of Let's Play Transistor.
Deserted.
We've made it here to the... well, almost to the empty set.
Hi. Where'd everybody go? Well, we're gonna get you out of here. He says the process wiped him out. He's too far gone.
Yeah, unfortunately, this guy won't be of any use.
This lady again.
But here's another new friend. An upgraded young lady 2.0. I try to leave a packet here and lure her into it, which doesn't really work out. As you can see, she's got a cheerleader protecting her and several weeds around the perimeter of the fight, so she can retreat and heal up if she needs to. So I start by dealing with those and then lure her away from that first cheerleader, so I can take care of these two down here. Then I lured her into the packet,
You're up.
but that didn't really work. She just teleported out. I tried to line up the shots here to do as much damage as possible. That's another advantage of using Breach, is that it penetrates enemies. So every time you use it, you should be trying to hit as many as possible in one go.
Still kicking, huh?
She's low on health, so I figured I would just take care of her first, and then mop up the weeds down there.
Look at him go.
So anyway, as I said, we're at the empty set, which is the venue where Red performed before this entire disaster happened.
Let's have a look downstairs.
There's a terminal down here that we can check out.
Pole's a little out of date. Facsimile's finally gonna catch a break.
Well, let's give her a little boost.
They never had a chance against the champ. Let's get back to it.
I haven't brought it up before, but there's a little ghost effect you can see. If you check the walkway just ahead of Red, there's this green image moving down. I always thought that was a cool effect.
When I first saw you up on that stage back there, it was like everyone loved you.
And here's something new.
Everyone except for them.
So Red's lost her voice, but she can still hum. And you can use that throughout the game. Again, just like Flourish, it doesn't really do anything, but it's a neat touch.
When you speak, I hear silence. Every word a defiance. I can hear, oh, I can hear. Think I'll go where it suits me. Moving now to the country. With everyone, oh, everyone. Before we all become
What? Where? How?
This looks familiar. We flash back to the beginning, just seconds before the game started.
Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Hey. Is that you? Oh. Look at you. You're alive. Me, I'm not not so sure. Could use your help. Hey, say something already. Say something, will you? Oh no. She's here.
Everyone,
Look who it is.
meet Sybil.
Hello again, Sybil. You.
Sybil here is one of the 4 members of the Camerata, who are the architects behind this entire disaster. In case you were wondering, I looked it up. Camerata is Italian for comrade or companion. She's the first boss of the game, but not that tough to deal with. She's only got the 1 attack, which you can see her lining up right there. She just lunges at you with her parasol.
She's back.
The fight's done in 3 phases. We just finished the first one. Each time she summons some new friends to help her, and she adds 1 more lunge to her attack. As you can see, there's 1 and 2.
She's patching up.
So we want to deal with these weeds so she can't heal up between attacks. I didn't have too much trouble with this fight, but if you do, what's nice about it is that the area you're fighting in is so huge. You can actually get away from her and get her off screen, and if you do that, most of the time she won't follow you. So if you need to get a little bit of a breather, it's perfect.
Almost got her.
I got a little bit impatient here and took an unnecessary hit. Alright, so that's phase 2.
Sybil.
1 more round.
Round 3.
This time she summoned a creep and a couple cheerleaders. And she lunges at you 3 times. So you have to be very careful here, because if she hits all 3, it's going to be very painful. So I knocked the creep out of the way, but unfortunately, she's blocking me from being able to get over. So while I was distracted dealing with the cheerleaders, he came back, and you can see my health right now is very, very low. So I had to be careful here. If you're hit while your turn is recharging and your health drops to 0, one of the functions on your transistor will overload, meaning you won't be able to use it for a while. If all 4 of them overload, that's game over. I drop a couple packets here to create a trap. You can judge how effective they were. I thought that was a very clever combo, pushing her and the packet into each other, but she just lunged right out of it before it exploded. I was kind of annoyed about that. It would have looked cool. I was very lucky she didn't get me on that 2nd and 3rd strike. I definitely would have lost one of my functions if that happened. For some reason she was considered out of range right there, so I moved. And that does it for Sybil. She explodes into cells,
She's finished.
and then we put her out of her misery.
Bye, Sybil.
Goodbye, Sybil. Goodbye.
Hello again, Sybil. Your Camerata friends. I want you to tell us where they are. Do you understand?
We gained a level.
Sybil's trace.
We got a new function, courtesy of Sybil Rise. This is help, I'll be showing it off in another video. And the Authenticator,
Our lead.
which you'll be seeing in the next video.
The process will be waiting for us.
Luckily, Sybil was more than willing to tell us where her Camerata friends are, so that's where we're headed.
Sybil Rise.
There's her profile page.
She was bad news from the first.
We haven't used the function yet, so we can't see anything about it.
Hey. You'll be back someday.
Anyway, that about does it for this video, so thanks for watching. Now hold on just a second, past DelayBuster. This is future DelayBuster, and before we wrap this video up, I think we should take a second to revisit the small but important role that Sybil plays in the story of Transistor. We've only seen her as a processed shell, but who was Sybil Rise before all this happened? And how did she end up in that sorry state? At this point in the game, we're still not really sure why the Camerata unleashed the process on Cloudbank, or why they attacked Red at the empty set. What we do know is that Sybil acted as their eyes and ears in the city. As a member of Cloudbank's most elite circles, she was able to scout out the city's more prominent citizens and recommend them for integration into the Camerata's scheme, whether by choice or by force. She was a master at what she did, until she met Red. According to her profile, Sybil took an instant, almost obsessive liking to Red after they first encountered each other, but she was rebuffed by the popular musician. She blamed the situation on Red's companion and immediately set to work getting him out of the way. In the end, she suggested to the rest of her Camerata partners that they should ambush and integrate Red at a time when she would be completely alone, a claim that reports say was almost certainly a lie. Based on her behavior and infatuation with Red, it seems likely that she was hoping to take the so-called Mr. Nobody out of the picture. What the group didn't anticipate was that the Transistor would warp out with both Red and her lover in tow, leaving the rest of them defenseless against the approaching process. Sybil most likely fell to the process almost immediately, while her companions fled to safety. By the time we find her again, she is almost entirely a monster, left with only her jealousy and obsession for Red, as evidenced by her singing when we first meet her, and her dying words. While she's hardly innocent, I do feel some pity for Sybil. The other Camerata tend to be almost robotic in their expressions and behaviors, but she acted in her own self-interest, and that gives her a very human quality. And what she went through in her last moments certainly made up for her crimes. In any case, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and we'll meet back up in High Rise in the next video.